Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing tonight? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater, and I wanted to have a conversation tonight, briefly, about where things are going to be going with this channel in 2020 and plans I have for the future. Because with COPPA kicking in on January 1st, I don't necessarily believe that I will be as impacted as other people. I still have to be wary of that about how I want to move forward and what I want to do. So it's kind of a lot that's going to be happening. So I'm just going to kind of jump into it, and then we'll talk a bit more as we get into it, as more people join on up, and then I can answer some questions. So first and foremost, allow me to say thank you guys so much for a great 2019. The channel has grown exponentially over the span of the last year. I think we're up around probably 10 to 11,000 subs, which is fantastic. The views are up and people are coming in who aren't even subbed a lot of the time, which is actually pretty great too. YouTube has been recommending the videos to a lot of people, which is pretty fantastic. It's not to say everything's been perfect. There's obviously going to be ups and downs with every channel, but I'm very happy with where things are, where they're going, and I love the work that I do here on YouTube. And that, of course, is absolutely fundamentally because of you guys. So that's 100% thank you on that one. It's 100% thank you to everybody who watches. If it's one time a week, one time a month, if it's every video I put out, for those of you who comment, who like, whether we agree or disagree, it's because of you guys that I get excited to wake up every morning and come in and do this kind of thing. Which only makes it really bad on days where there's not a lot of good movie news to cover, right? And I'm still trying to figure out how to properly cover trailers. Just doing reactions isn't necessarily what I'd like to do. It's fun, but I kind of feel it's also just kind of there's nothing to it. But that's just me. That's just me. I'll probably still do them for big movies, but probably not for like every little thing, even though it is content people do look for. It's not something that I necessarily have a lot of fun doing. And that is, in essence, the big idea too going forward in 2020. So when you look at where things have been, where we are, at least in an entertainment medium, and how many channels do this sort of thing, you're up against a lot of competition. So the key is to find a way to either be different or to be more engaging or things like that. So live streaming is something that I'd love to do. I'd love to do it a lot more. I do it on Hollywood After Dark, which you can go to youtube.com/Hollywood After Dark. And I do streams over there. That is where I'll be predominantly streaming when I do the Hollywood After Dark live show. That will be happening. I want to aim for Mondays through Thursdays. And if we can get enough people watching, or get, I would say, enough in patrons, which I'm still figuring out that goal, then I can move it to earlier in the evening. I have other things to take care of right now that unfortunately keep me delayed until then, but I can move it a little bit earlier in the night if I can kind of readjust a few things. So again, as that comes out, we're going to be talking more about that, talking more about how that thing plays out. But Hollywood After Dark is going to be a staple. Whether or not I'm on camera, it all just depends on whether or not StreamYards works. Right now, I'm using my Logitech, which I'm not necessarily like the biggest fan of. And for me, the biggest thing that I run into is like I can use this webcam, or I can, let me see, I can probably move it over to like this webcam as well. And this is a lot nicer. There we go. I'm looking at the right camera now. This one's a lot nicer, but sometimes because of how StreamYard operates, I end up getting a fair amount of distortion in the way that it looks, because this is a lot better of a camera. This is a Panasonic 4K, so it's a little bit different than using the what's it called, the Logitech that I'm using right there. For any of you guys that are seeing that, if you've noticed that that framed image down there, it says Black Olives Matter. It's an inside joke with my family. People have been asking me about it because it's a gift I got from my dad last year, so it's an inside joke. Those are actually all little skull logos on there from the former Mundane Matt channel. So there's that. Anyway, let me just move back over to this one here. So yeah. So as we look at the right camera now, as we move forward into 2020, I want to be building up the live show. And the live show, I'll cover news, and I want to bring on guests. And the biggest part of that, actually, for me, is bringing up the live calls, because I was doing that over the summer and I had a lot of fun with it. I will fully admit that the issue of doing it at 11 p.m. on the on a weeknight is difficult for people who don't live on the West Coast. If you live in other parts of the country, or people have called in from South Africa, they've called in from the UK. So there's different time zones, and that does become a bigger problem. But I want to make sure that people have the ability to call in, to converse, to chat, and to just be able to actually have conversations about what you like or don't like about the current state of Hollywood or big budget films or anything like that. Because I feel the biggest part of having a community here on YouTube, which is what I do want to be building up to, a lot of it is having an open dialogue with everybody, and then also being accessible to have that dialogue. So opening up phone lines for people to call in, letting people call in and leave voicemails, those kind of things. I think that's going to be key and paramount to not only having a solid discourse with the community, but then building it up from there. I've seen a lot of YouTubers recently like try to lock a lot of stuff behind paywalls, and I'm not a big fan of that. So it's one of the reasons why I haven't done it. Not to say that there won't be certain perks for patron, patron only things. That's going to be happening. But for the general mass consumption of content that I put out there, I want to make sure that it's abundantly open for every single person to dive on in and to engage with and talk with me about, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. That's how I view it. And I think that ultimately is going to be the best thing going forward. So that's the show. That's the show. We're doing the Hollywood After Dark. Do I have that? Do I have that image up here? I might. Well, it's my, it's my back. So that's just the background right there. Which I should probably make actually as an overlay. Right now, I don't have that as an overlay on here. So that's what I want to do with that. So there's a couple other things too. I'm working on a show that is going to be not just movie news. It's going to be probably, I'd like to do it at least once a week. For right now, we're probably going to start it off, see how it plays out, we figure out some kinks, where we kind of do a deep dive into a movie. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Maybe get on some different guests and different people who are enthusiastic, maybe some other YouTubers who are into a certain type of movie, like if we talk about a horror movie, try to get a horror YouTuber on. I know a few of them, like CZ's World and Good Bad Flicks I'm friends with. Try to get them on, and then just do a deep dive into a movie. In fact, I really want to do like kind of long form deep dive discussions with you guys, where we dive into certain topics and then just kind of go through it. Like right now, I'm currently working on trying to compile all the information that I can about the Snyder Cut and its long 2-year journey, because I think we're actually coming to a close on that one. I think it'd be interesting to go back and look at everything as it's played out. So we have that. And then also there's going to be, I want to say industry interviews is another thing I'm working on. So I have an industry interview lined up for later on this month. I don't know if it's going to be a live stream. I'll see if he's open to it. But it's from a director of one of my favorite movies from the early 90s, and as well as the late 80s. And it's the guy who directed Angus. Patrick Reed Johnson. So we go back and forth on Twitter a little bit, and I want to talk to him about that movie. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend checking it out. I'm not too sure where you'd find it at this point, simply because they never released it on DVD. It never came out on Blu-ray, and you might be able to find it on Stars. I think that's the last place I saw it was on Stars. And so trying to find more people who work in the industry, maybe not big name people, eventually get there, but start off and talk to people who worked on projects and try to dive into these, whether they're actors or writers or producers, to talk about these movies as they've been made, what their experiences were, what changed, what didn't change, and little things like that. Because I feel like having those kind of conversations with people in the industry is going to go a long way into demystifying the industry. Because one of the biggest problems that I have found here on YouTube is when it comes to discussing the industry and looking at who is talking about the industry, a lot of people don't know about the industry. They don't know what it is at all. They just run on rumor and hyperbole. And I think it'd be great to find a way to demystify some of that by people who actively work in the industry and have a far better knowledge than someone who is just reading off a Reddit post and calling it gravy. So that's something I want to be working on for the future. I do think that it's going to be a lot of fun. I have the one lined up. I do know Doug Jones, who is in Star Trek Discovery right now, as Commander Saru. We've worked together a couple times. I'm reaching out to him here pretty soon, and a few other people that I'm trying to get in contact with to see if I can set up maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes to just kind of have a conversation about their work and maybe specific projects. And that could be something that we could work on together as a community here, as a group here, to try to find people that may want to just have those conversations and then let you guys ask questions and get your questions answered. Because I feel like just having those kind of laid back, chill conversations can do a lot more in regards to just having a lot more fun discussing the filmmaking medium. And that's kind of where I'm at for right now. Those are my priorities for 2020, is to focus on those three things. Hollywood After Dark will also be a podcast that goes out to like Stitcher and iTunes and everything. So trying to reach an audience that way. And again, wanting to have people call in and have guests come on and things like that is something that I very much want to do. And I really just want to take this next year and build up on something that I feel is fantastic, is having that dialogue with you guys and just kind of geeking out about movies, right? Like I love just firing up a live stream and talking to you guys about a random topic for 2 hours, and we'll go and we'll go and we'll go, because it's just fun to continuously have that shared passion. And that's something I want to get back to, is the shared passion of why we're watching content about movies here on YouTube, and not have it just be about what's the latest drama, who's spilling the tea. And that's just where I'm at as a creator. And so I hope that you guys are definitely wanting to be on board with that. I'm hoping you guys would love to be there with me on this one. If not, I could totally get it, but I think that we can work together to build something great, and to bring a lot of awesome positivity back to YouTube, and to just like find out more about movies and to just enjoy the whole medium and the whole process. And I think that's going to be probably my biggest my biggest thing for 2020 is that's my goal. I've been thinking a lot about it, and just wanted to put it out there tonight. I was kind of like, do I do a video? Do I do a live stream? Do I just do this, whatever? And I kind of thought, screw it. Let's just put it out there, because that's where I think you guys want to know more about that, and I want to be able to share it with you. And then if we can get this stuff going, trust me, I've got some other projects that I want to work on that I think some of you guys would really, really, really like. So there's that. That's what I just wanted to. That's what that's what I wanted to say about that one. And hold on, where is that at? Oops, nope, that's not the right one. Okay. So yeah, that's basically it. That's it. That's the whole spiel. Let's take some questions here. Let's see here. All right. Am I friends with Alpha Omega Sin? I actually am friends with Alpha Omega Sin. Yeah. Oh, there's a super chat here from Karen. Oh, sorry, Karen. Let me find that super chat. But yeah, I am friends with Alpha Omega Sin. Actually, he was the first YouTuber I met, where I kind of exposed my identity to. He was in Portland back in 2015 for the Retro Gaming Expo, and we went out and got extremely drunk, and it was a lot of fun. So he's a good dude. Let's see here. Karen here says, good evening. I've been a subscriber for 2 months now. Enjoy your fourth rightness. Stay safe and careful, and keep up the excellent work. Thank you so much, Karen. Greatly appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I do it because I love it, to be honest with you. I really love everything to do with movies. I know I can be stubborn and be a jerk at times, but it's generally speaking from a place of love, to be fair. So I'm just trying to find, where do I turn off the I want to make these things smaller. I'm still trying to figure out. There we go. There's minimal. Okay. Let me turn off that. They just added this new feature too, where you can do the channel ticking. I just wanted to give that a shot. All right. Back to comment section. Now let's just quickly run through. Let's see here. In Human Quake, we can't lose you. I'm not going anywhere, dude. I'm not going anywhere. I will be here. Trust me. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. I'm here 100%. We love you 3000. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I know we talk a lot, but you're a really good dude. Thank you very much. David Conway says, hi, I'm new here first. Thank you, David, for coming by. Appreciate it. Thoughts on Bob Burger's movie getting a delay? I'm a huge Bob Burgers fan, have been ever since 2010 when I first saw the first 11 minutes of episode 1 at Comic-Con. I got to pull it out. I have a t-shirt of Hugo having shut the burger joint down. It's a t-shirt that they gave us, and I got to find it. I'll show you guys. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, it's still coming in July. Awesome. Dallas here says, keep the videos coming. Love the channel. Dallas, I'm not going anywhere. I just want to let you guys know that where I have plans, where I want to go. I want to build it up. You know what I mean? Like I want to really start engaging the community. And I think doing the deeper dives into films and then getting the interviews are going to be awesome. Like I have so many questions for Patrick Reed Johnson that I'm like I want to know, how did he get the director of Empire Strikes Back in his movie? How did he get his movie made? It's a small film, but it's had such a profound impact on my life. And eventually, I'd love to be able to like work my way up to getting like Kevin Smith and having a long conversation with Kevin Smith about his career because I am a huge Kevin Smith fan. And for me, the thing that I love about it is like when I get hyped up over something, like I get giddy, and then I get to geek out. And if I get to geek out, man, it's so much fun, and I love doing that. And I'd love to share it with you guys too. So okay, let's dive through here. We could do live watch parties. That is something I want to do. I just don't quite know how to do it, to be fair, like on a legal sense. So it's like we could do it illegally. I know how to do it illegally, but I'm trying to figure out how to do it on a legal sense. There is a series I want to do that I probably will launch here, and that might be a patron only thing. And I don't want to hide things behind patron, but it's like, it's like minimum of $1 sort of thing. Where we all kind of watch something from Netflix and we discuss it and have a good time talking about it. There's that. And that's called It Came from Netflix. I'm still working on that idea, figuring it all out. For me, I need to get everything on a schedule. Once I'm on a schedule, I'm golden. It's just establishing that schedule. Let's see here. Anthony says my issue with the live calls is that occasionally trolls call in. Can't help that, dude. Like, trust me, it sucks. I'm not a big fan of it myself, but you can't do anything about that. I can easily boot them. There's that. And I can block their number, and there's that. But otherwise, that does happen occasionally. But it hasn't happened in a few months, and we've been doing it still on Hollywood After Dark. So there's that. Let's see here. All right, let me just quickly dive through some more. Let's see here. Please do a thing on the Ninjago movie. Lego, what do you mean? Like, do you want me to do a deep dive on the Ninjago movie? I haven't seen it, but I'd be willing to dive into it. I mean, I'd have to find someone who's a huge Lego fan to really kind of dive in and have that conversation. Let's see here. I could talk to Tommy Anderson of Lego. Who Andreessen, sorry. Who is that? I don't know who he is. Look it up. Okay, so Alec here says, I found proof the leaks are planned. I'm assuming episode 9. Okay. So, John Boyega had made a comment about leaking the whole thing in regards to the script coming out. I still think that whole thing was a joke. Let's see here. All right, let me just kind of let's see here. Anthony here says three fuck theater has no future. Oh, that's funny. You're wrong, but that's funny. Let's see here. What's going on, Fry Guy? How you doing, buddy? Okay, let me see here. Let's see. Josh here says, I love listening with a cup of tea and chilling. Dude, that's awesome, man. Like, if you get enjoyment, that's what I want. Like, that's ultimately what I want. I really want to make sure that we all just have these fun conversations and chill the hell out. Let's see. Do I think YouTube Rewind is a no-win situation? It doesn't really matter what they do. People still hate it. 100%. It's at like 6 million dislikes. It's just out of pure sport going to make it to like at least 10 million. But the thing is, as I said in my other video on it on the other channel, it had no other choice but to suck. It was going to suck regardless. That's just how it is, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see here. Alec, okay, big fan of the channel. Thank you very much, sir. I found out an old interview where John Boyega says he wants to leak the whole movie, and this is back in D23. Can you send me a link to that? The best way to be, like Twitter, DM me, or like whatever. I'm trying to think what email address I use right now. I don't know which ones I have. I have to think. I just woke up too. I took a nap. Let's see here. Thoughts on the Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. I liked it, man. I really liked it. I saw it today. First time on my phone. I was at a family event. We were doing Christmas photos with the kids, which was just a hell of a day. So I'm so damn tired. And I watched it on my phone. I thought it looked pretty cool. I actually just watched it again before going live. I think it looks pretty great. I still want to know how the hell Steve Trevor came back. You know, I don't know. I think it's a clone, potentially. But that's kind of where I'm thinking. But I don't know. It looks good. I want to see it. Oh, there's another one here from Fry Guy. Let's see. He sent in a super chat saying, here is 350. You're on too late now. I won't get as much time to tune in, but I'll tune in when I can. What are my thoughts on Disney Plus a month in? Well, that's the thing, dude. If patron up to like 1,000 a month or whatever, I could probably move this thing to 8 p.m. Not a problem. Doing it late works for me predominantly because I have the 2 kids and getting the kids to bed. That's the biggest factor of it. But there's also like other things I'm not talking about publicly, but there's that. Disney Plus a month in. I have not gone a day without watching Disney Plus, myself or my kids, in the first month. Me personally, I'm going through Star Wars and Clone Wars chronological order, which, like, I am actually kicking myself in the ass now for waiting this long to see Star Wars Clone Wars. That show is so fucking good. It is so damn good. It's also brutal and it's violent and it's dark and it's twisted. And I'm sitting there going like popcorn, going, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen next?" You know, because like the thing I find to be crazy is you get to know the clone troopers, right? And then they kill them. You're like, "Oh yeah, here's a clone trooper." You spend like a whole arc with the clone trooper. You get to know them a little bit, right? You get to know their personality. And D. Bradley Baker does such a great job with that, right? He does such a great job with doing their voices, and even though they all sound the same, they have different personalities, and it works out real well. That's actually one of my favorite little bits from Jedi Fallen Order was when the clone trooper shows up and it's D. Bradley Baker's voice, and I was like, yeah, oh my god, it's so good. But I also love the fact that they have these arcs, these mini arcs. They take you 3, 4 episodes, mostly about 3 episodes. They take you through a storyline, and it gives you like these mini Star Wars movies, like as it goes on. And I kicked myself because season one was with the first like 5 episodes are real rough to get through. But once it gets past that, especially if you're watching in the chronological order, it kind of starts you off with a really good episode, like a real solid episode, and then it guides you into some of the crappier episodes. But once you get through that, it starts taking off. Like I love Ahsoka, man. I love Obi-Wan. Like I love Anakin. I just got done with the Mortis trilogy. That whole thing was pretty great, and I'm looking forward to whatever comes next, man. Like I got a couple more seasons, and of course we got season 7 or season 6, whatever it is, coming in February to wrap up that whole show. So yeah, I like it. Plus my kids have been watching Pixar. I was watching actually while we were putting my daughter to bed, my 4-month-old, we were watching Monsters University. I haven't seen that in a long time. So yeah, for $7, dude, Disney Plus is a good deal. Plus Mandalorian. Need I say more about Mandalorian? It's the shit. Let's see here. Okay, so please go with Black Widow trailer reaction segment. I could do something like that. Like that's fine. I did enjoy that. I've watched that trailer a few times. Still a little bit like I mean, Taskmaster is not full Taskmaster yet. Where's the hood? Let's see here. Maybe public watch parties at public domain movies. Well, there's that, Garrick, or finding movies that are on YouTube and then having those discussions around them actually does fall under fair use. And I wouldn't actually attempt to make any money on it. It would just be something for the fans. Like I don't want to say the fans. I hate saying that. For the community. It'd be something for the community to do together. That's what I love, because I love I want to sit down with you guys one night and show you my crappy ass movie. And then just sit here and watch that with you guys and let you guys, and I've shown it on here before. I think I did it on April Fool's Day or something. I did like a 9 p.m. just a premiere and like showed the whole movie. And there was like maybe 20 people watching, and they were like, "What is this crap? This is horrible. I'm never watching it again." And I'm all like, "That's my movie." Let's see. Okay, here. Okay, so Tommy Andreessen is the head dude of Lego Ninjago TV show. Okay. Well, again, I'm open to talk to anybody, man. Let's see here. Vizok says, no matter what happens, dude, I'll follow you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Let's see here. Are Kathleen and Ryan officially dismissed from Star Wars? I think Ryan Johnson is, if I'm being fair. I really do. I think he's done. But Kathleen Kennedy is still there till 2021. But she's Rise of Skywalker. Let's say Rise of Skywalker bombs. Like if it bombs, she's done. Like just done, done, done. She's out. But if Skywalker doesn't bomb, then she's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Like she'll be on for a while, but she's not. Would you renew? Like, look, I'm a glutton for punishment. I do YouTube for a living. All right, I've been doing this for 8 years. I'm a glutton for punishment, and even I would sit there and look at, if I was Kathleen Kennedy, I'd go, I mean, I'm worth a lot of money. I'm in my 60s. I'm in my late 60s. Is this the stress I want to have? But it's also her legacy. It's her legacy. That's going to be the key factor. Whether or not her ego can let it go. That's I'm wait to see on that one there. Shidoko says, honestly, the plan you want to go in is quite unique. Taking calls, no paywall, building the community, looking into the industry, etc. I love it. Thank you very much, man. Look, I moved to LA in 2010 to pursue film. And I didn't do as much as I wanted to in the time I lived there, but I still got to work on some stuff. I worked on some small indie films. I helped, I was a viral media manager for a $4 million, low budget horror movie, whatever, that they fired me off of after I told them the movie had problems. But I was being honest. That's when I learned you never be honest in Hollywood. But I did it all because I love it, man. I would sit there. I'll tell you, I did a temp job where I worked at a flower shop, the flowers that sell like to the Oscars, right? The flowers for the Oscars. And so all the celebrities call in, all their assistants, and I would talk to like all these people's assistants. Like I had a 30-minute conversation with Leanne Rimes' mom, and we were just talking about country music. I'm not a country music fan, but she was telling me about her daughter And this is a good conversation. I talked to executives at like Warner's and Paramount, Universal and Sony, like high up executive assistants. And I would tell them we would get to chit chatting because they would call in pretty frequently and I get to know them a little bit. And then I tell them what I want to do. And they're like, oh no, you're on the right track. So they're very supportive. Like LA people are not as bad as so many people out there want to make them out to be because they all go there for roughly the same reason. They love movies. Some people get jaded faster than others, 100%. But I met a lot of really amazing people and some people that I'm still really good friends with. One of my buddies out there just put a movie out. It's called Jurassic Galaxy. It's at Walmart. I've known this guy since like 2011, when we were doing podcast interviews in his studio in like South LA, where they literally shot hardcore BDSM porno on the floor above, right? So it's like, you get to you get to know people in very crazy positions in LA. And those are the people I want to talk to, man. This is the unsung heroes of the industry. The people that work, the people who you don't always know, because I think they matter just as much as anybody else, right? Like, it's not just in regards to Star Wars, like let's say The Rise of Skywalker, it's not just J.J. Abrams. It's not just Daisy Ridley or John Boyega or Oscar Isaac or Adam Driver or Kathleen Kennedy or any of those people. It's like, who was the visual effects people? Who was the sound design person? I mean, come on, dude, imagine doing the sound design for a Star Wars movie. How much would you get a geek out for doing the sound design for that, right? Like Bill Hader, who I'm a huge Bill Hader fan, was the voice of BB-8 in the Force Awakens. I'm hoping he's back as BB-8 in this movie. I don't know yet. But it's like, just like to have those conversations with people. Like, what was that experience like? That's so cool to me. That's so freaking cool, not like, oh God, I hate this movie, people bad. Like, like I would love to have a conversation with Brie Larson about the filming of Captain Marvel. Or not even that. How about the filming of a movie she was in called Short Term 12, which was actually produced and filmed in San Diego, which is, my hometown for film, and it's like, so like, that's something where I want to see San Diego represent. I'm a huge, I love San Diego. So it's like, it's that kind of stuff, man. Like I want to geek out and I want to take you guys with me. Like that's where like my passion for this is why I keep doing it. Anyway, I was just kind of geeking out on that one there. All right, let's keep going here. Okay. AJ says, I enjoy your channel. You have a great broadcasting voice. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. I got a loose cord. No, it's not a loose cord. It's phone. There we go. I'll move it out of the way. So let's see here. Doctor Who News and View says, best film discussion page on YouTube. Cut through all the shite. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Look, I probably don't cut through as much bullshit. I do play the game a little bit sometimes, and I know I kind of have to, but I'm not a fan. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan. This is one of the reasons why I like John Campea, and I know a lot of people out there don't like John Campea, but I think he's at least like his approach is very straightforward. Whether or not you buy everything he says is up to you, but I think his approach is relatively straightforward. I just get frustrated with the fact that he puts everything behind a paywall. That's my complaint. Like, don't get me wrong, I like money, and I get you need to have money to operate, but it's like when you're getting like a couple 100,000 views a day on YouTube, you can, take a goddamn phone call every once in a while. You know what I mean? Let's see. How do you DM? Well, you can DM me on Twitter. So for some reason, this is my Twitter handle right there, at mjarbo. You go ahead and DM me there. Let's see here. What are my hopes for the new Ghostbusters show? Oh, that's right. That's tomorrow. Oh, dude, okay. I am cautiously optimistic, borderline hyper obsessive. Let me explain why. For one, Ghostbusters 2016 was a movie that I did not want, and it exists, and we have to live with that. It exists in our world. But it had the potential of being good. It had the potential, as anything has the potential of being something that is salvageable or decent or entertaining. There are people out there who really like Ghostbusters 2016. I quite frankly don't know what world they're living in, but they do. They like it. But anyway, like when they announced this one, in fact, that it's Jason Reitman writing and directing, I'm excited. And I think the fact that I think it's going to incorporate a fair amount of what Dan Aykroyd wanted. I think it's gonna because when he wanted to expand out Ghostbusters for the future, that's what I think he wanted to do. And then you've also got a lot of like, it's just to me, like, I'm trying to think that's the best summarize it. To me, it feels like it's a labor of love. They realize, like Sony realized that they screwed the brand. Okay, let's be fair. They realized that they screwed the brand. But when they realized that they screwed the brand, They went back to the people who could make it good again. They could make Ghostbusters great again. Magah, right? They could Magah that thing. And then they could maybe do well. Now I don't know. The trailer could suck tomorrow. I mean, I remember in March of 2016 when they dropped the first Ghostbusters trailer. It was terrible, and the internet reacted in the way that the internet does, and that was that. But at the end of the day, I have hopes for this one. It's got Paul Rudd in it as a role, as a sizable role. It's got Finn Wolfhard, who I like from Stranger Things. Although I do hope he's not typecast, if I'm being fair. He was a little bit typecast. Well, I mean, his character in it and his character in Stranger Things are like they were kind of polar opposites from each other. So there's that. But I'm looking forward to seeing what comes from it. I'm excited for it. Is what I want to say. Let's see here. Okay, let me get the. Which is worse, A Bug's Life or Cars? Oh, dude, Cars. A Bug's Life is like freaking. It's a Kurosawa film. It's Seven Samurai, right? It's what it is. It's so Cars is making fun of not only Doc Hollywood, but the Chevron commercials from the mid '90s. Don't get me wrong, I like Cars. Cars 2 was terrible. Like terrible by like even like DreamWorks standards. It's pretty terrible. And I have not seen Cars 3. So let's see here. Anakin in the Clone Wars is better than Anakin in the prequel movies. That is very true, but we also get more time with him. I think Hayden Christensen is underrated. I do believe that. Am I concerned about the Mandalorian TV series? Anthony, I am. Actually, I am. Not overly concerned, but there's a little bit of something that I'm starting to notice in The Mandalorian that I'm getting a little bit frustrated with. And that is maybe just the way that I view cable television, of having an overall arc between the shows, between the episodes. I like the fact that it's just kind of him surviving with Baby Yoda. Like, I'm cool with that. And I like that each episode kind of feels like a vignette to an extent, but I'm still waiting for it to take me somewhere. And I think that's going to happen in the next 3 episodes. It has to happen in the next 3 episodes. If not, then they're going to lose whatever goodwill that they've established. And that's not going to go over well for not only The Rise of Skywalker, but for the franchise future going forward. And anything on Disney Plus. They cannot screw up that. Let's see. I really like Disney Plus and watching some older Disney movies. Clone Wars is badass. Yep. Again, they have the Cat in the Hat, not the Cat in the Hat. The Cat from Outer Space is on Disney Plus. That's actually a movie I watched a lot as a kid, and I named my very first cat Zunar after that movie. So let's see here. The leaks are fake. Really? Really, Xenos? I'm seeing a lot of people say the leaks are fake. I haven't done I was really busy today, and then I came home and I took a nap and I overslept. But I haven't dove into it too much. So I need to take a look at that. Let's see here. 3 episodes left in The Mandalorian. I don't know how it ends. What's the story and where does it end? Exactly. We don't know where the chapter is going to end, but that could also be the point. Let's see here. Do I think the Fandom Menace genuinely hates Brie Larson, or is it all a show for clicks? It's all a show for clicks. It's all a show for clicks, man. That's all it is. Like, I mean, then again, that's the game. That's the game they want to play. I just can't. I don't see money's not everything, man. Like, integrity, I feel, plays a part, and this is coming from me. So there's that. Let's see here. You'd love to do a chat on the Ninjago movie and TV show. I'll tell you, I'll watch it. Are we talking like the Lego Ninjago movie, right? Because I know there's like a bunch of like episodes. There's like a TV show. I've never seen it. It's not necessarily up my alley of things that I like. I've kind of have issues with the Lego movies outside of the first one. Like I really loved the Lego movie from 2014. I felt the Lego Batman movie had a solid first half, and that back half just kind of fell flat. Not that it's bad, but it just tried cramming so much in there that it just kind of became absurd after a while. And then Lego movie, the second brick, I got bored 20 minutes in, and I watched like anything, and I got bored 20 minutes in. I'll give it another shot. Maybe I wasn't in the right like frame of mind to watch something like that, but it's a kid's movie, and you figure I would like it, but it's there's something so fundamentally missing from that. So, and I heard that Lego Ninjago is not the best thing ever. I chose to see Kingsman: The Golden Compass instead of Lego Ninjago that weekend. Let's see. You shouldn't hate anyone. You should love everyone, even your enemies. Yeah, sure. Let's see here. Let's see. You'll take John Campy over Geeksy Gamers Mecha Random. Yeah, that's true. I'm in the same boat. Hi from Texas. Hey, what's up, Terrence? How you doing, buddy? Let's see here. It can only get better as Ghostbusters 2016 was China Syndrome bottom. I don't know what that means, but I agree with you. At least for it can only get better. Doctor Who, for all intents and purposes, is dead to me. It died with Capaldi leaving the final nails with the new showrunner's direction. I have not only watched one episode of Eccleston. I saw the first episode of Eccleston, and I was all like, "This is not for me." Everyone tells me to skip Eccleston, go right into Tennant. Some people have told me skip Tennant, go right to Smith, which I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you like David Tennant's an amazing actor? Like, why would I skip that? But then I heard he gets good. I don't know. Let's see. You went into Ghostbusters 2016 knowing it would be bad. Ashley found enjoyment out of it. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad. Look, I'm glad you found enjoyment out of it. Like I tried. I went into that movie after I had railed against it for months because things kept happening. That's the thing too. One of the criticisms of me is that they go, "Oh, but how can you criticize geeks and gamers for going after Brie Larson when you did the same thing with Ghostbusters?" I'm like, there's a difference there. I actually covered what Ghostbusters, the director was saying, the head of the studio was saying, the cast members were saying, all the nonsense surrounding the movie, all the fact that the media was attacking people who were trying to criticize the movie. There were things that were happening on a consistent basis. It wasn't Brie Larson touched Don Cheadle's arm in an interview and he went like, I don't do that, and then that's like 18 videos in and of themselves, right? Or Jeremy Renner gives some pithy response to something that Brie Larson said and it's like he humbled her, you know what I mean? Like there's a difference in the approach, and I always said I wanted it to be good, and I went into it, and the first 5 minutes of Ghostbusters 2016 are not terrible. I liked the setup. I enjoyed the first 5 minutes. And I was like, maybe I'm wrong. I thought that, and this is true. I thought to myself, I sat there, I'm in the theater, I'm watching the movie, right? Watching the movie. And it gets to the first 5 minutes, like, oh, there's the I'm kind of laughing at it a little bit. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm wrong. And it kicks up the Ghostbusters, logo, and there's the Ray Parker Jr. theme song. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. And I'm like, and I kind of went like, oh man, yeah, okay, I'm wrong. This is going to be good. This is going to be fine. I'm okay. We're home free. Nope. This is true too. Movie ends, and my girlfriend is a huge Melissa McCarthy fan, and I'm a huge Melissa McCarthy fan too, as well as a big Kristen Wiig fan, and I also love Kate McKinnon, so I love the cast of the movie. And we walked out of the theater, and I was expecting her to like it because she likes anything with Melissa McCarthy in it. And I looked at her, I'm kind of like gauging her reaction. I'm all like, "Man, what'd you think? What'd you think? What'd you think?" And she looks at me point blank and just says, and keep in mind, we've been together for 11 years. And she has never done this before. She looks at me and just goes, "Can we get our money back?" And then the theater employee heard her say that and went like, "Ooh," And I said, "No, obviously we can't." But that's how it is. I went in there wanting it to be good. I even watched the extended cut so I could do a roundtable with Midnight's Edge back when I talked to Midnight's Edge, and still tried liking it, tried finding anything I could to enjoy it, and I just couldn't. Let's see. Do I have any excitement for Birds of Prey? I don't. It's not to say that I'm not going to go see it. I am going to go see it, but I just don't have any excitement. The trailers haven't wowed me. The marketing hasn't wowed me. Nothing about it has got me going, "Ooh, yeah." Nothing. Not a single thing about it has made me really feel that way. It feels like the most overproduced, Mandy Moore, I want candy bubblegum pop shit from the late 90s is what it feels like to me. And I don't know if that's what they're intending to do on purpose or if they're just screwing the pooch. Either way, I don't like it. I'm just not that I don't like it. It's just nothing about it seems interesting to me. Right. And it's like the whole Black Mask is a fantastic villain, and yet he's not in a mask. Like, I mean, he'll be in the mask in the movie at some point in time, but it's like everyone knows he's the villain. Show him being the villain. We have like I mean, Christopher, what's the name of the guy who's playing Zaz? I like him as an actor, and I like Zaz as a character. And it's like Zaz is a crazy dude. Like, cool, play that up. Show us some more of the villainry. Get people excited to see the bad guys. Nothing. I just don't get it. I have a feeling it could be very bad. Let's see. Something should just be left alone. Ghostbusters is one of those things. Stan the Man, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But movies are a capitalistic business, and nostalgia is one of the sweetest drugs you can ever sell somebody. So they're going to try to find a way. They got to try to find a way to do it right. Is Paul Rudd a natural born Ghostbuster? I think he is. I think he will be. He'll be with him. Step Brothers or the other guys? Oh, dude, Step Brothers. The other guys was terrible. I'm sorry. The other guys was not a good Will Ferrell comedy. It had the potential to be funny. it had the potential to be good, and maybe it's funnier now, but man, I died laughing at Step Brothers. The fucking Catalina Wine Mixer, right? Like it's a good movie. It's a funny movie. The other guys just tried so hard. So hard. Yeah, late to the party. I'm sticking around, dude. I ain't going anywhere. But go back to the beginning of it. I'm only going to be on here for maybe a few more minutes. And maybe I might jump over to Hollywood After Dark just so I don't like have too long of a live show on this channel for people to see it. So we'll do that. Let's see, but I'm not. I ain't going nowhere, dude. I just announced some things I'm working on, some projects I'm working on. Let's see, Fun with Dick and Jane or Me, Myself, and Irene. Me, Myself, and Irene. I never saw Fun with Dick and Jane. Let's see. The Mandalorian keeps getting tracked down by all the other bounty hunters looking to take Baby Yoda. There will be an episode where the only place he can hide him is on Dagobah. That would be funny, man. If they end the season with him going to Dagobah to drop off Baby Yoda, I think I would probably just squeeze myself into death. Let's see. Okay. Well, no, that's okay. Hold on. My concern, the fact that Disney buying Fox, I feel like Disney's going to reboot everything, like reboot Planet of the Apes and Aliens. I don't look. They shouldn't reboot it, man. Just continue it. Don't reboot. Continue. People are tired of reboots, but Disney's like, but we can sit there and do a live action reboot of Aliens and make $1 billion. No, you're not. Keep Ridley Scott away from it at this point. I think Ridley Scott, like, I don't know why Covenant is as bad of a movie as Covenant is. Prometheus was a good, solid film until the end. And even then, it's still watchable. Covenant is just not watchable. Let's see here. Let's see. You're right with Disney buying if they want to make their money back 20-fold. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you spend 70 billion. They want their money. Let's see here. Ghostbusters started good and then went downhill 100%. Let's see. Matter of fact, what is Disney going to do? R-rated movies that Fox produced. They can't be on Disney Plus. So I think Disney will ever create a streaming service for R-rated. Well, they already have one. It's called Hulu. So here's the thing. It was Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers, Disney, Fox, and Comcast all had, I think it was like roughly equal stake. Maybe not equal stake, but they all had stake in Hulu, right? And so when, Disney had 30%, Warner's had 10%, Comcast had 30%, and Fox had 30%. So when Disney bought Fox, Disney got 60%, meaning that they have controlling stake in the company. And then Warner Brothers, basically, I think like they sold it off to them or something. And so, or they divvied up. Basically, Comcast is giving full control of Hulu to Disney Plus for 5 years. And that's where they're going to put all the R-rated stuff is on Hulu. Why do you think you can get the deal to get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for like, what is it, $12 a month or something? I don't know, man. I don't want ESPN. I don't need ESPN. So, okay, I'm just trying to catch up on chat here. All right. The meaner, script. Okay. Hold on. Did you see the trailer for Wonder Woman 84? I did like it, AJ. I could go through tonight and like put together a little video kind of breaking it down. I was thinking about it, but then I was like, I'll do a live stream instead. Let's see. Am I excited for Mulan? No, I'm not actually. I saw the trailer. It didn't really wow me. I'll watch it, but it didn't really wow me. I'm sorry. Like I was rewatching Mulan on Disney Plus, and I love that movie. I love the animated movie. I was rewatching Beauty and the Beast, the animated movie. Tried watching the live action again, just did not care for it. This morning, my daughters were watching Aladdin. I came out, was watching Aladdin with them. Like forgot how much I love Aladdin. we don't need the remakes. I grew up with the animated. I'm going to keep the animated. I might check it out if I'm bored or when it goes to Disney Plus. I don't think I'm going to go see it though. Let's see. The syndicated Bird of Prey from the 90s wasn't bad. They should have kept that storyline. Yeah, didn't they cancel after like 9 episodes or something? Am I a golfer? I am not a golfer. I have golf clothes, but I'm not a golfer. Let's see. I used to be able to pull the con where you distract the theater attendant from tearing the ticket and then you refund it after. Now they phased out Ripper tickets. Yeah, I used to do that too. Except what you do is you don't distract the theater attendant, right? You don't distract it at all. What you do is you just fold it in half and palm it in your hand. Now that's what you do. Now people used to do that to me as a ticket taker at my old theater. So what I would do is I would ask to see the ticket to get a better look at it because I have shitty eyes. And then I would see if there's anything else there and I'd catch people. I know all the tricks for getting in the theaters, dude. And I pull off every single one of them too. I don't even care anymore. but I know all the tricks. I spent 14 years working in movie theaters. Trust me, I have seen so much. And if you're ever on the Hollywood After Dark show, I'll talk about some of those stories. Reboot of Planet of the Apes. Don't reboot it. Don't reboot. Well, if you're going to reboot the 68 original, fine. You want to reboot it, reboot the 68 original, but keep it in the continuity and the timeline of the other trilogy that we just had. Fine. You're never going to recapture the magic of Charlton Heston. Not going to happen. Okay. But if you can give us Dr. Zaius, you can do all that. You can do all the other stuff, right? You could even continue the Tim Burton timeline, which I like the Tim Burton movie. But no, don't reboot Planet of the Apes and disregard everything that came before it. It's so dumb. How about a reboot of Reboot? That was a great show. That was a good show. I wasn't a big into Cartoon Network, but that was a good show. Aliens and Predators need writers that know the lore and the franchise and those properties to write the next films. I agree. Here's the thing, though, Echo Base Network. I'll catch crap for this one. I really enjoyed Alien versus Predator Requiem. I did. I'm friends with the guy who did a lot of the animatronic work. He for Alien AVP. He actually developed the Pralien that came out at the end. He developed that for AVP back in 2004. And so we've talked a lot about that stuff. And I like the movies, but then again, I might have a bit of a different approach to that simply because I know people who've worked on it, so I know behind the scenes stories. Therefore, I have a bit of an emotional connection, and maybe that's kind of clouding my judgment. But I thought Predators was solid. I liked Predators. I haven't seen Shane Black's Predator, probably because I think everyone told me it was bad, and I just never got around to seeing it. So I do want to see it. Like, how bad can a Shane Black movie be? That's my question. But then again, I didn't think The Nice Guys was as good as a lot of other people made The Nice Guys out to be. Dark Horse version of AVP is awesome. They should have followed that storyline. Completely agree. Mando and Woman on Blue Shrimp Planet, it's Ray Parents. You know what? Screw it. Make it lore. Why not? She was down for Pound Town. You know what I mean? She was like, take off your helmet and put your head in me. Let's see here. You have the streaming bundle and you love it. That's good. You're sick of Disney live action remakes. Dude, me too, man, but they make $1 billion. I will say this though. The technology that Favreau used for Lion King is what they're using for Mando. And I love the tech. So I'm very cool with that. Let's see here. Okay. Here's a crazy question. Thoughts on Teen Titans Go versus the original? I never saw Teen Titans Go. I saw the trailer for Teen Titans Go and I wanted to die. I just no. I hate. Okay. So this might be boomer Matt, because I'm in my late 30s, but when they did Batman Gotham Knight and they did that collection of short Batman short films that were all done by different animation companies, a couple of them were okay. But when they went into the anime territory, when they started really going in, really embracing the anime side of it, I hated it. It's because I don't want that. I would want short stories that were done in the animation style of Batman the Animated Series, or even Batman Beyond. I just also, by the way, just want more Batman Beyond. So when I look at something that takes Teen Titans and it puts them in the same kind of Powerpuff Girls animation, I don't care. It doesn't interest me at all. It just doesn't interest me. I was at VidCon last year and they were screening it, and I was like 3 weeks early, and I was all like, I'd rather go get drunk. Let's see. Have I ever snuck into an R-rated movie when I was underage? Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I remember one time I was in a film class in high school, and I was supposed to go watch I was supposed to go watch a movie and do a report on it. And so I bought tickets for 7 Years in Tibet, which is that Brad Pitt movie that, by the way, I saw it one time over 20 years ago, and I just remember it gave me a headache. It was boring. It was slow. So I walked out of that theater and I exited out the back, because I used to work at that theater too. I think so. No, 97. I worked there in 98. This was a year before. I worked there in 90, but I knew the theater real well. So I exited out of the back because they had the exit to the parking lot. And I went out there and I smoked a cigarette. And keep in mind, I was like 15. And I walked back around and I said, oh, I left my backpack in the theater. which I didn't have a backpack on at the time. They believed me. I had one of those faces where no, I just went in there and I just walked right into Starship Troopers and I watched Starship Troopers again. So I've done that. I used to have my mom buy me tickets to an R-rated movie. She used to do this. She'd buy me tickets to an R-rated movie, and then what I would do is I would go in between the box offices, and I would wait for a couple to come in and a couple to say they wanted to see that exact same movie. Like I remember I went and saw Bruce Willis's Last Man Standing, and I had my mom buy me a ticket, and then she left. She was fine with that. I told her it was for school or something. And then I just walked in between the box offices and I waited for a couple to come up. A couple that looked nothing like me, by the way. It was like nothing like me. I believe it was a black man and a white woman, and they bought tickets for Last Man Standing, and I just followed them in. And they gave their ticket to the ticket taker. I gave my ticket to the ticket taker. I said, "Oh, I'm with them," And then he's like, "Oh, okay," and he didn't care. And I walked right in and saw the movie, and no one gave a crap. You know how many people I busted trying to pull that crap when I was working at theaters a couple summers later? Because I knew what to look for. I busted a lot. I carded everybody. I'm such an asshole. I will fully admit. Let's see here. Thoughts on Power Rangers 2017. I actually liked it. I did. I'm bummed they're not going to be doing a sequel. Okay. Let's see here. Hold on here. Okay. What do I prefer, Home Alone or Elf? I just watched Home Alone again. Love it, but Elf is so goddamn funny. Okay. Everyone's asking me about the Wonder Woman trailer. I did see the Wonder Woman trailer. I'll put out a video on it now. I have no choice. Second Street. Yeah, I did. It's at the very beginning of the episode, very beginning of the stream. I talked about it. About the first, I think 11 and a half, 12 minutes is what I'm going to be talking about. To summarize it for all of you guys who are here who don't know. So starting in 2020, even going on this month, I'm going to be doing the Hollywood After Dark live show, which is where I'll be covering the news over there, clipping those out for this channel. That's on youtube.com/Hollywood After Dark. So there's that. The reason why, predominantly speaking, is because the longer I do live streams over here and have them on the channel, complete with smaller bits of content, it hurts the channel and the algorithm. Until I get to a point of where things start really going pretty well with some of the, like a lot of people are watching and there's a lot of watch time, then it will work out pretty well. But in the meantime, I'm not going to do it. So I got to make sure I protect it. That's why it's separated, if that makes any sense. Two, I'm working on kind of more deep dive projects into films. That's going to be more of a live stream thing with guests, and we'll be talking about certain movies and going through them and everything else. I'm still developing that right now with a producing partner. And then I've got interviews lined up. One interview lined up with a filmmaker who made Space Invaders and who did Angus from 1994. And the goal then for 2020 is to also find more people who work in the entertainment industry to have in-depth conversations with them about their career, about certain projects, about their career, things like that. So that's the goal for 2020. That's what I'm working on here. I want to do more live streams, bring on more guests, have more people, build a community that way. There we go. Watch Crisis is epic. I'm so far behind, man. I'm so far behind. Let's see here. The Predator is easily Shane Black's worst movie. It makes Iron Man 3 look like a masterpiece. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I liked Iron Man 3 though. I don't care. Let's see here. What are my top 5 movies of the year so far? Oh man, I don't even know. I feel like I haven't seen 5 movies this year. I mean, because the ones I've gone and seen are all going to be like, I haven't seen as many as I like to. Obviously Endgame, obviously, Spider-Man Far From Home, Joker, but I feel like I haven't really broadened my horizon. Oh, Dolomite, My Name Is. Yeah, that's in my top 5. 100%. Dolomite, My Name Is such a good movie. But next week is Six Underground, which I'm looking forward to. We got The Rise of Skywalker coming out. There's a lot of stuff to watch still, but I haven't seen like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I watched Terminator Dark Fate, which I enjoyed, but apparently that makes me a bad person. Let's see here. Why do I think live action remakes do so good at the box office? Is baffling. It's because Shidoko. Okay, the best way to describe it is population density, and this is actually true. So, from 1979 to 1999, our world population doubled from 3 billion to 6 billion people. This is true. Those of us who grew up, like I'm a Zennial, like what you'd call a person born between 1977 and 1983. So I'm kind of a mixture of a millennial, a Gen Xer, a Gen Yer, somewhere in there, right? Anyway, We grew up, we had those movies. We had the 90s, late 80s, 90s animated films. That was our generation. Now we have kids, and there's a lot more of us because of how much the population grew, which means that we went from, 3 to 6 billion people in 20 years. And then in the subsequent 20 years, we went up 1.5 billion more people. So that's a lot of people who maybe haven't seen the animated movies and didn't grow up on them in the same way that we did. So we have that emotional, nostalgic connection. That's why they're doing it. Legitimately, that's why they're doing it. And people go to see it because they want to see if it's good or not. And because it's literally the same story and nothing really changes outside of updated graphics, they're going to sit there and go, that was a good movie. But I think Lion King actually got blasted. Like, it got blasted for the tech because there was like, you can't take expressive animals and then not make them expressive. Doesn't make any sense to me. Let's see. Teen Titans Go needs to die in a fire. The creator needs to be flayed alive, hung head down, sprayed with lemon juice, and then force-fed milk and honey with his head in a catch bucket. Oh, well, okay, Curtis, tell me how you really feel. Let's see here. All right, so Patty Jenkins announced they're making Themyscira. I have a feeling it's going to be HBO Max and Aquaman. Aquaman, Shazam 2, was that announced? I missed the thing today. I was so busy. Shazam 2, awesome. Aquaman 2, awesome. I love both those movies. I really do. Really like Aquaman. Really, really, really like Shazam. So I'm very cool with that. And I did hear something about the Themyscira thing. I'll do it probably for tomorrow's videos. Let's see here. Curtis. Yeah, talking with Patrick Reed Johnson, dude. He's down to talk. We're gonna talk Angus, and I'll try to bring him back for Space Invaders. And he's got another movie he made. It's a biopic. It's like a biography of his own life called 5/25/77, which is the release date of Star Wars. Very, very influenced by Star Wars. And I got to hammer him about that because I've been wanting to see it for over 10 years. Let's see. Why didn't any YouTube movie critics review Cumberbatch and Holland's movie, The Current War? You just found it strange that no one reviewed it. Well, the thing is, Karen, probably the biggest issue, and this is just unfortunately where things are, in regards to movie YouTubers and covering content, if it's not Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Star Trek, or some, like popular brand at the time, like Game of Thrones or The Mandalorian or whatever, a lot of people just don't care. And and that becomes disheartening to certain YouTubers because they go, why would I watch this content? Why would I review this content if no one is going to see it? And so they just don't want to put the work in because people don't want to see it. And as a result of that, then we get flooded with reviews of all the other content. Right. And I've honestly found some cool shows. Like, I didn't know about Rick and Morty until a friend of mine, Girl Does Rant, did a whole video about season 1 of Rick and Morty. This is after season 1 of Rick and Morty, not where we currently find ourselves, where it's almost annoyingly whatever. And there's a lot of, so she talked about that. And that's kind of what I want to do. Like, part of what I want to do is to do like, talks about movies that are coming out that I want to see. Like I did a clip on Hollywood After Dark for like why I'm excited for Six Underground, and maybe I should do a video about why I'm excited for that. We got into a phone call one night on Hollywood After Dark. A guy called in and wanted to talk about the Bloodshot movie coming out before the trailer dropped. So we started looking into Bloodshot. We started looking into like who's the director, who's the writer, who are the other actors in it, and started, looking at all that information and getting kind of hyped up for Bloodshot. So I thought about that'd be kind of an interesting movie, why I'm excited for Bloodshot. And I think part of where I'm at personally as a creator is I'd like to do more content where I say stuff like, this is why I'm excited. This is why I want to see this movie. So negativity is so easy to do. Positivity is the hard part. But I think with enough positivity and trying to convey that, we can actually change some of the dialogue here. I'm cool with that. Let's see here. RT says just setting the stage for okay permission is the trend. That would be pretty funny. Thoughts on the Free Guy trailer? I don't know how to feel about the Free Guy trailer. Like, it looks fun, which is really all I care about. It's also Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. And at this point, the only real time I want to see Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Not to say that I don't like Ryan Reynolds. I've been a fan for years, but his attitude is at this point just completely Deadpool, and people just want to see Deadpool. But I think Six Underground is going to give us a look at him as trying that without going into that non-Deadpool world. Besides, that's the most Michael Bay movie that Michael Bay's ever Michael Bay'd. But no, Free Guy looks fun. I mean, it looks kind of like GTA Online, right? Or what was that one that they did? It was APB, right? That one, and it just looks like it's just he's gonna start fighting his way out. I don't know what the goal is. It looks kind of like a mishmash of gamer, but like just fun. Is it going to be rated R? I don't even know what it's going to be rated. Let's see here. The current war was shelved because it was being distributed by the Weinstein Company. It came out 2 years later. Oh, okay. And then yeah, I did see ads for it that said the director's cut, and I was like, that seems kind of weird. All right. So I think trying positivity is just as bad as negativity. It can come as artificial and disingenuous. I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying, but I think like, and there are people out there that accuse me of being like fake positive, right? Like people go like, oh, you're just a shill, man. Like, where's your fucking Disney check, man? I'm all like, if I had my Disney check, I would be in a much different place. But no, I think being positive, I think if you come at positivity from looking at it from a negative, you lose the point. And I think my passion and my actual genuine geekiness comes through because that's how I am. That's how I am as a person. I'm quite infectious in that particular regard. Let's see. All right. Do I think Bumblebee 2 will happen? No. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't really want it, if I'm being honest. I didn't think Bumblebee was that good of a movie. I just like it. I liked Bumblebee. I liked Bumblebee. I loved the opening of the movie. I just feel like the dialogue was terrible in that film. So let's see. Okay, what if Bloodshot is a massive hit? Do just Valiant Universe and they sell Spidey back to Marvel if Morbius flops? So no, Sony wouldn't get rid of Marvel. It's get rid of Spider-Man. It's $1 billion property. Releasing Bloodshot in January is not necessarily good. It's not necessarily bad, not anymore, but it's not necessarily good. And they're hoping that it's going to do well for that market, for that time release, where movies like that can find an audience and make some money. It's like look at Alita. Alita should have come out in January instead of Labor Day or Valentine's Day weekend because it was so close to Captain Marvel. It ended up losing out quite a bit. But if Alita would have come out in January when there was, I think it was Glass that came out, but like those are two different genre films, kind of. You could have had two different markets and they could have been competing with one another, and I think it would have maybe done a bit better. But no, I don't know if Bloodshot's going to do as well as they want. And I think Sony's like getting rid of the Valiant stuff. I'll have to wait and see. Okay, here. Is anybody really a Disney shill? No, I don't think so. I think people just like it. All right. Let's see here. Positive is a natural focused energy. It collects other positive energy. Negative energy disperses. That's why negative does not focus as positive. Sure. I get that. I just want to like be happy with what I talk about. That's kind of where I see it. Okay, so all right, I've been on for an hour. If you guys want me to continue this conversation, I just kind of want to wrap it up on this channel. If you guys want me to continue the conversation, we totally can. We can do it over in Hollywood After Dark. Anybody want that? If you want that, hit 1 and I'll fire up a stream over there for maybe 45 minutes or something like that. We can do that over there. I just don't want it to drain the algorithm too much here. We can talk about other stuff here. And I also could bring on, so we could bring on guests. We could do open calls. So it's up to you guys. So if you guys want that, hit. Okay. I see the ones are coming in. Okay. So, I'm gonna have to end the broadcast and then quickly fire up another broadcast over on there. I'll do my best to post the link, in here. Actually, Curtis, if I toss you that link on Discord, can you post it in here in a second? Because you're a moderator, you can do that. And we'll jump over there in a second. We'll do that. So hold on. We'll be over there. And thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the link. It will be dropping here. But it's just youtube.com/Hollywood After Dark. And that will be up here in like maybe a minute. Okay. See ya.